I'm Tara, and I'm going to be interviewing Jerome Hawco about his disability, Osteogenesis Imperfecta. So, Jerome, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I do have Osteogenesis Imperfecta, which means brittle bones. I'm 49 years old, and I'm only 2 foot 11 inches tall. And the reason why that is because I broke so many bones that my bones stopped growing, and that's why I'm that small.
So for everyone listening, can you tell them a little bit more about what Osteogenesis Imperfecta is, or otherwise known as OI?
Or otherwise known as brittle bones.
Or brittle bones.
Yeah. And what it is, it's the lack of collagen in the bones, which makes the bones brittle. And collagen, it doesn't just affect my bones, it affects my skin, and pretty much anything that collagen affects. That'd be me.
So when did you find out that you had OI, or when did your mom and dad find out that you had OI?
When I was born with both my arms and my legs broken when I was being delivered. And before I was born, in vitro, both my arms and legs were broken before, too. So then when I came out, the doctor looked at my eyes, too, as well. And my eyes, the whites of my eyes, the sclera are blue, which is a big indication of a person with osteogenesis imperfecta.
So you said that your parents are the ones who found out. How does this affect your family, indirectly or directly?
It didn't really affect it at all, really. I come from a big family, and they're pretty supportive. They all helped out quite a bit. My bones broke very, very easily back then, so they couldn't hold me, they couldn't pick me up and like that, so it was kind of hard to get close to me. But once you get older, we pretty big family, so we got along really well.
So I was on RareDiseases.org, and it states on there, in most cases, Osteogenesis Imperfecta types 1, 2, and 4 are inherited as autosomal dominant traits. Most cases of OI type 2 occur without a previous family history or the disorder.
Right.
Did your family have a history of Osteogenesis Imperfecta?
Nope, not that we know of. Way back, my parents tried to think way back, and they had no idea if anybody, as far as they can think of, had OI. So it was just, the doctor that I went to see one time said it was a mutation of the gene. Mm-hmm. So that's why I ended up having the 2 types.
Yeah, so also on this website it says, rare subgroups of OI types 2 and 3 may be inherited as autosomal recessive genetic traits, mm-hmm. which is in recessive disorders, the condition does not occur unless an individual inherits the same defective gene for the same trait from each parent. So have you ever heard of it, like, coming through the lines, like, because you have to have it from both parents, the recessive gene?
Right, but I don't, it's very, like I said, like my family, we have no record of having OI at all in our family. Now, my brother married my sister-in-law. Her sister had OI, and on their side, as far as they know, the only person that had OI was her sister, so, like my sister-in-law's sister. And she had a child, a person with OI, and that baby didn't have OI. So I don't know how they really regulate that, to be honest with you, Tara. I don't know. But we know another couple, Robin and I know a couple, and the husband had cerebral palsy, the mother had OI, and they had twins, and both the children had OI too as well. So I think it's just a gamble.
So I was talking a little bit about the different types.
Right.
So according to the Osteogenesis Foundation, there are 8 different types of OI. So what type do you have, and how does it differ from other types?
I have type 2, type 3, and I always get this wrong, but my types are more brittle than types 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Now, 1 is deadly. No, 1's not deadly. I'm watching my wife. 1 is not deadly. 1 is you can walk around.
So how many other people have you met with the same type that you have?
I've met quite a few, matter of fact. Just here in Iowa, in the Granger area, there's a girl that lives down the road. She has the same type as I have. I met another girl quite a few states away. She had same types. So there's quite a few around, a lot really, to be honest with you. And I also met someone that has type 1 when we went to the OI Foundation in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, right? Yeah. And we found different types there. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So you said that there's a lot of different types.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any that you find that's the most common?
Type 2, type 3 seems to be quite common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. Type 1 is not as common, but like I said, we saw quite a few people with type 1. And type 4, I can't remember exactly how that affects people, but you don't break as easy with type 4 either. And when you reach puberty, once you hit puberty, your bones, your body changes for everybody. But my bones became stronger after I hit puberty. So, yeah.
So when was the last time that you broke a bone?
A serious bone, 1988. That's the one I consider. But the last time I had something just fractured just recently was my rib, and that was about last month or 2 months ago.
So how many breaks, if you can count, have you had total?
Oh, hundreds. Hundreds of breaks. When I was before puberty, I broke quite often. I could break as easily as sneezing. But now, I've broken every bone in my body except for my neck, nose, and back. So, and my hips. I haven't broken my hips either. So, but I can break pretty easily.
So out of those hundreds of breaks that you had, what is the worst break that you have ever experienced that you can remember?
In 1988, the last break I had was my worst one. It was that I remember. It was my right femur, which is the strongest bone in your body, supposedly. It wasn't for me. And my left humerus, which is the upper left arm, and I broke them both at the same time. And I had muscle spasms on top of that, so it was the worst I've ever had. And I was in the hospital for 7 days. I don't usually go to the hospital when I break anything either. So.
What do you do instead of going to the hospital?
What I do is I when the bone breaks, I grab the bone with my hands. It was not my hands, and I squeeze them as much as I can and try to set the bone, and that's it. And I just hold that and wrap it up really, really tightly with a tensor bandage or an elastic bandage. That's why my arms are kind of bowed, because I never had them straightened with casts. And people do that now. They put rods in their arms and their legs to keep them straight, and their backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said your worst break. What was your least, the break that affected you the least?
Oh, ribs.
So having your disability be physical and not mental, how do people react to you when you go out or go grocery shopping or shopping for clothes or just movie or something?
People react kind of differently. Kids react, they're very curious, so, they stare and they come up and talk to me and stuff like that. They ask me questions like, do you have legs? What's wrong with you? Stuff like that. Adults don't do it as much. Adults will kind of just more or less, they'll kind of just stare and they won't say nothing. Unless I look back at them and I say hi to them, and it kind of breaks the ice kind of thing, Once we break the ice, and they ask me questions. But otherwise, people are usually pretty good, and they will ask questions. They won't ask the most common questions like, how do you go to the bathroom, and how do you do that? Kids do that. They ask you that question. How do you go to bed? But people are usually pretty good and pretty receptive about it. And as long as the person in the wheelchair doesn't mind, I encourage people to ask questions. Otherwise, you're not going to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of kids or people in general, what's the craziest thing that you've ever been asked about your disability?
Okay, from kids' standpoint, it'd be like, how do you get into your bed and stuff like that. Adult standpoint is, what do you call it? Adult standpoint is, can you have children? And if you do, will they have a wife and stuff like that. And with the kids, they always, they ask me if I have legs and stuff like that too. So it's kind of funny.
So, the question, if you were to have children, would they have a Y? Is that yes or no? Or
I honestly don't know. Honestly, I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, probably, but I don't know. I'm too old now to find out.
So, you were in school, what were some of the hardest obstacles you had to get over to continue learning, being in school?
It's kind of funny because when I was in school, I didn't really have any obstacles, really, because the schools I went to regular schools. Well, regular schools. I didn't go to any special needs schools. And when I had friends around, they pretty much kept me occupied all the time. So I didn't really realize I was disabled. Mm-hmm. I did things they did. They included me doing things. It's when I graduated and I was finished school, that's when it hit me that I can't play sports because I never really thought of it before. Mm-hmm. And I can't do this and I can't do that. So in school, I really didn't have any obstacles. I had a teacher's aide. They used to help me out until, again, after I hit puberty and stuff like that. When I got my own power chair. But before that, I had a teacher's aide take me to the bathroom, which is kind of embarrassing, but you had to do what you had to do back then. And then when I got older, I didn't have to do that kind of stuff. And in high school, I was more independent. And like I said, I didn't realize I was disabled as much until I graduated.
So you were always included in the classroom. Were you ever taken out of the classroom?
No, not really. No. There was a time though that between 7th grade and 8th grade, I went to a different school, a disability school. They wanted to teach me more independence, how to be more independent, and so I missed a whole year of regular school. And I had to go back and do another year of school. So, and all that was more or less to teach you how to cook and stuff like that, and it wasn't really anything big.
So I know that you drive.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for people who have never seen someone use a hand control or something?
The van has a side ramp on the side, so the wheelchair goes in. My wheelchair locks onto the floor with a special box, and the hand controls is my gas and my brakes. And my turn signals, my horn, my high beam, my cruise control, my windshield wiper, and my horn, I said that already, one of them, is all in my left hand. So I do everything with my left hand, and my right hand only does the steering.
And I know, like, since I've been in your van, I know that your steering wheel is smaller.
It's a 10-inch
and it has the
steering knob.
The steering knob. How does that, why is that effective for you to have?
Because the diameter of the steering wheel, if it was a regular size steering wheel, it'd be too hard for me to do the whole radius of the steering wheel. So they put a smaller steering wheel, and they change the parts of it inside the van. It makes it easier to steer. And then the spinning knob is easier for me to hold that instead of trying to grab the whole steering wheel. Yeah.
So I know that you've had a few vans, and I know that you're trying to save up for a new one. You actually bought a new one.
Yep.
So I will post the website that you can donate to that on here. If there was something that you wanted to tell a teacher who had a student with OI, what would you tell them how to help them get around the classroom, make them feel like they're a part of the classroom community?
Let them do as much as they can themselves. Let them be as independent as they possibly can. Let them be part of whatever activities they're going to do. Anybody will learn by their mistakes, or they're going to learn by something happens and a person breaks their arm or leg. They know they can't do that, and I know it's a hard thing to learn, but you don't baby them. You can't be babied. If you get babied, it's not going to happen. They're going to have a hard time in life to try to be independent, mm-hmm. and that's why I thank my family, because my family pretty much they helped me, but I was pretty much independent quite a bit because I had to do a lot of my stuff. So pretty much just let them be themselves.
Closing it off, I know that driving is a pretty big accomplishment. What is your biggest dream that you want to accomplish?
I've pretty much done a lot of my stuff that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to be independent. I did that. I got my own vehicle. I wanted to get married. Did that. I got married to your mother. I wanted to have kids. I had 3 of them, automatically. And, so I'm pretty much... My bucket list is pretty much done, really. There's some places I like to go see, but that's just places. But I've pretty much done everything I really want to do.
Yeah. So I just thought of another question. What for you is typically the age that people
Expiry date?
Sure.
Well, I don't know. You can tip me over and see if it's a tattoo to my butt. But I honestly, I think we have the same life expectancy as everybody else. I have scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. So my lungs are compressed on one side, stuff like that. So that does play a part. With people with OI, they have respiratory problems, cardiac problems because of the structure of their body. But there's no life expectancy. Like there's no difference. Definitely, yeah. Yes?
What did they tell your parents when you were born?
When I was born back in '67, they said to my parents that he probably would not live to see 18. Back then, they didn't really know much.
So 67. It's 2017. So how old will you be this year?
You know that already.
Tell him.
No, you know that. You just want to make fun. 50. And it's downhill from there. And I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm really buggered because gravity sucks.
What else did they tell your parents, Jerome?
Oh, they told my parents too, because I come from a big family, like I said. The doctor said to my parents, since you have so many children already, you should maybe think about putting your child up for, put them into a home, like we call them, like a home,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and pretty much just forget about him kind of thing, because he's going to be way too much for you to handle. And look at that, I'm still here, so, and my family's still around, so, yeah.
Well, your family's still around, but you were born in Canada, but now you live in the United States. So can you tell a little bit about how you got to the United States? I know, but...
Yes, I met your mother online on a dating site. But it wasn't really a dating site. Your mother was looking for someone to chat with sign language. Now, I only know one sign. It's not a very appropriate sign. It's what you give somebody when they cut you off. Everybody knows that sign. And we started talking. And then we started talking a bit more and more. And I came down, met your mom came to Canada first. And then I came down here, and the rest is history, pretty much. I left my family. Well, I didn't leave my family. My family still lived in Canada, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier for me to move down here than to have you guys travel up to Canada. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for talking with me.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
If you have to have genetic testing to know the type of OI that you have, how is it that you say that you are type 2 or 3?
Because I went to a genetics doctor, but he didn't do a genetics testing. But all the traits I have, that's what they came up with type 2 test for.
Yes.
So it's my understanding that you cannot tell what type you are without genetic testing.
Correct.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. And they do that by doing a skin sample. If I'm not mistaken. They could take a skin sample and they could do a genetic test and see what kind of OI you have on that too.
And I've also heard that people with like the lesser types may not even know they have OI.
Correct.
They might only break a bone once in their life or whatever, but